Hey guys, hope you're doing very well. In today's video I'm going to revisit a video that I did previously. I'm not sure how long ago I did this. It might have been like over a month ago, but it was a very interesting video and I had so much fun filming that video, and I think you guys really liked that video also. And it's all about how tattoos look when they are fresh and then how they have healed a few years down the line. It's very interesting to look at how different types of tattoo styles heal over a short period of time or a long period of time. I find it very interesting myself, so I thought it'd be cool to do another video like this and you guys get a good idea of how tattoos heal. And it's quite a few of you guys' main concerns when it comes to getting a tattoo. I get a lot of questions in my DMs all about, you know, like, how does this tattoo style heal, or I really want a tattoo but I don't know how it's going to look in 5, 10, 20 years time. So hopefully this video will help you in some way. So I'm revisiting the post that I put in my Facebook group asking you guys about, you know, if you're willing to share what a tattoo you have looks new versus how it looks now. So it could be like 4 years down the line, 5 years down the line. Last time I think we had 11 years down the line. Okay, the first one I'm going to go with is from Alice, and she has posted a nice little collage for us. So I'm guessing the top one is of the tattoo when it was done fresh, and she said it was done in December 2014. I'm guessing it says December 14, so I'm guessing December 2014. And this is what it looks like now. So this is almost 4 years down the line. Yeah, almost 4 years down the line. We're a couple of months off. But as you can see there, so from the top one, it is very like saturated, it's very new, it looks quite crisp. But then if we look at the healed version, you can still tell what it is. We haven't lost all of the definition, we haven't lost all the saturation. It has just, you know, faded a little bit, which is what is going to happen. This tattoo also doesn't really have any black outlines within the tattoo, so if you were to have a black outline within this tattoo you would probably see a bit more definition, but not everyone likes a big bold black outline. We've learned this over the past couple of months. I'm not going to bash everyone that doesn't want a black outline. It's personal preference at the end of the day. I have realisms and some of my realism tattoos don't have black outlines either. I cannot start pointing fingers. But yeah, it still looks like a really cute, awesome tattoo. I'm a big fan of this, honestly. It's very adorable. The next one I'm going to pick is from Amanda, and she said, here is one that's aged the worst on me. My Friday the 30th Deathly Hallows tattoo fresh. So if we look at the fresh one here, it is just a black line work tattoo on her ribs. And then if we look at the healed version, so this is 3.5 years later, she said, not looking so good now with all the lines blown out, which is what happens with black work, line work tattoos. The line work never stays thin as you want it, or as it was first done. They always blow out. You may not recognise it on your own tattoos. If you look at a picture of your tattoo fresh and now, and what it looks like now, you'll notice maybe a little slight difference, depending on how old it is. To be honest, if you got it last week you're not going to notice any differences, but over time you'll notice the lines will get thicker, and it's just due to the ink spreading out and then your body changing and aging and what have you. It's completely normal. Don't freak out. If it's something you don't like aesthetically and you're worried about something like this happening to you, it will happen to you, so keep that in mind. But in my opinion, it hasn't done the worst. You know, it's still very legible, it's still very readable, you know what it is. In my opinion, it doesn't look that bad. It looks like a normal heel tattoo to me, so don't worry, Amanda. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is from Rosie, and this is a watercolour tattoo. So this is it fresh. Now, you hear all these, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You hear all these people talk about watercolour tattoos and how they're not going to last and how they're not going to age well. Every healed watercolour tattoo I've seen, even though it is quite a short amount of time, we're talking, this is the healed picture, I'll show you in a second, is 4 years. But every healed picture I've seen of watercolour tattoos so far, because watercolour tattoos haven't been around for that long, so we haven't seen, you know, what they look like 20, 30 years down the line. But so far, in my opinion, they heal very nicely. I may get a lot of stick for that because a lot of people are like, you need black outlines for a tattoo to last, which I can see in some instances, but with the watercolour style, it's meant to look messy, it's meant to look wishy-washy, it's meant to look like a watercolour painting. It's not meant to look uniformed and tight and neat like a traditional tattoo, you know? I'm just throwing that out there. My mind has definitely changed after doing this like video series and seeing your guys' healed watercolour tattoos and seeing them on Instagram lately and stuff. So yeah, the fresh one that we've got here, it looks very pigmented, it looks very saturated, the black looks amazing, and it just looks awesome. Now if we look at the healed version, the green is still very much there. Even the little details where it comes to the splashes, you see those like little lines around the tattoo, they're still there. I wouldn't imagine them to be, you know, holding up 4 years later. I'd imagine them to have disappeared a little bit. They're still there. The green isn't as saturated, but that does happen with a healing tattoo. You do lose a bit of pigmentation. The black is very much there still, obviously, as it would be. It's a little bit patchy in places. If we really zoom in, if we want to be picky, we could say that it's a little bit patchy here and there, but it probably adds to the effect of the watercolour, so whatever. I don't know what I'm doing with this arm, by the way. I'm really wavy today. But in my opinion, this is healed very, very nicely. And to me, I can still tell it's like a watercolour tattoo, and it looks very painty and splotchy. If you're worried about getting a watercolour tattoo because of how it may look, 4 years down the line, it's still looking good. I think what has helped Rosie here, though, to be honest, is she did have a dark watercolour colour, if that makes any sense. So if you go for more of the pastel side of things, you're looking at losing pigmentation quicker. But if you go for a darker colour like this green, it's going to last a lot longer. From like my knowledge and what I've seen over the years of doing tattoo videos and looking at healed tattoos and having my own healed tattoos, the closer you are to black with your ink colours, the longer it will last. So if you go for dark blues, teals, reds, greens, they're going to last a lot longer than pastel pinks, purples, blues. So the closer to white, you lose a lot of longevity. Closer to black, it's going to last longer. Just throwing that out there if you're worried about fading colours and stuff like that. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is from Quinn, and her post is very interesting to me personally. So she has 2 feet tattoos here. Now, feet tattoos are notoriously known for difficult healing because, hello, they're on your feet. And if you're a busy person, you ain't got no time to lay around for 2 weeks healing a foot tattoo. You know, you've got to get to work, you've got to do your business, you've got to go to school, college, uni, whatever. So healing feet tattoos are very, very hard. And also when they've healed, they don't last as long as, say, like an arm tattoo or whatever, because your socks or your shoes are continuously rubbing on them. And yeah, they don't have a long shelf life compared to like an arm tattoo or whatever. It's just the way it goes, but feet tattoos look pretty cool in my opinion. I don't have any personally. Let's not make this too creepy, because normally when I talk about feet, people get a bit weird and you get weird comments and DMs like, oh, show me your feet, and it's just like, oh god, no. Anyway, so we have 2 tattoos here from Quinn. So both of these are 4 years old, but I'll show you one first because she's got a nice little picture here for us. This is adorable. I love this so much. This is a hella cool foot tattoo if you're asking me. We've got really nice line work, bold colours, good saturation. It's all really good, and I'm curious to see how these yellows hold up over 4 years. Yellow is notoriously known for not lasting so long. It lasts a long time obviously, but you know, it can fade quicker than any other colour. And then we've got another one here which is again 4 years old from Quinn, and it is, I'm going to say a poppy. I'm thinking it's a poppy. I'm not very good with flowers, but again, amazing line work, good saturation. I'm very curious to know how that white has held up in the middle there of the like pearls. If we scroll down and look at how they look now, which is 4 years later, healed, these have held up so bloody well, like amazingly well. Quinn, I want to know your secret. How did you heal these? Like, they look amazing. Obviously there is a little bit of dullness, just a little bit, not crazy amounts. There is still a lot of pigmentation and saturation within there. That yellow is still very, very bright, especially in the peach. Really bright. The white is still in the pearls there, which is amazing. It hasn't turned like a funky yellowy colour, which is what happens with white ink most of the time. These are amazing. I am truly shocked by this. It's amazing. So yeah, the statement of bold will hold. It doesn't get said for no reason, alright? I'm just saying. Oh, okay, I want to do another watercolour one here. And this is from Henriette. I hope I'm saying your name right. There's a possibility that I'm not. So we have a tattoo here from 7.5 years ago, and it is sort of watercolour style, kind of, because you don't really have many outlines here and there. The bird has a few outlines, the heart has an outline, but the background is quite wishy-washy like a watercolour tattoo would be. It's not very watercolour style, but I'm just going to put it in that category. Let's look at it 7.5 years later. In my opinion, it looks better. It's healed incredibly well. This is honestly settled down very, very, very nicely in my opinion. That blue is still there 7.5 years later. It's still very saturated, very pigmented. The only sort of thing we have lost is, I'm not sure actually. Yeah, the only sort of thing we have lost is in the before photo, there is some yellow down at the bottom there at the curve. And then if we look at the healed one, it's not there anymore. Other than that, the rest of it has healed very, very nicely. As I was saying before, yellow is notoriously known to fade quite quick. But yeah, even still, 7.5 years, a tattoo with zero outline around the background and stuff, it's healed very, very nicely. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is from Lana, and this is a realism portrait, and I believe it's from Drop Dead Fred. That's what the comments are saying. I don't know personally. Don't hate me for it. So she got this portrait tattoo in early 2013, which means it's 5.5 years old. She's done a little collage for us, which is super cute. So as you can see with the fresh tattoo, it's very saturated, very pigmented. There's a lot of like definition within the portrait. And then if we look at the healed version, we've lost a little bit of saturation. But you can still, like if you look at the before photo and then the after photo, you can still see most of the elements. We haven't lost a lot. But this is pretty much what happens with realism portraits. They end up sort of losing the, what's the word I'm looking for, like the dimension? No, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but you lose quite a bit of like structure and stuff like that just because of how it heals and what have you. It's just the way it goes. Also with the blue, it has faded quite a bit also, but again you can still see who the character is or who the portrait is of. So in my opinion, it's not a bad heal at all. It's just one of those things with realism. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is from Barb, and I think, oh my god, who is this? I either want to say Kim Possible or that person from Avengers. What is her name? Is it Black Widow? Oh, I don't know. It's one of them. No, this is too sexual to be Kim Possible. I'm going to go with the Avengers lady. If I'm wrong, I apologise. Like, I'm not very good at shit like this. So she's done a little collage for us again also, which is super cute. So the tattoo when she first got it done was in 2015, and this is what it looks like now in 2018. So it's like 3 years old, maybe a little bit older. It depends when she's got it. In my opinion, this has healed very, very nicely. We've lost a little bit of the sort of blue toned colour here and there within like the portrait's thighs, but then again it is to be expected. We've also lost a little bit of saturation within the hair. It's not as red and bold and vibrant, which is to be expected again. Other than that, I feel like this tattoo is healed very, very nicely. It's just adorable. I love this. This is so cute. The last one I'm going to pick is from Jasmine, and she said fresh and almost 4 years later. I've put on a lot of weight between this time. Laugh, cry, face. But yeah, as you can see here, it's like a fantasy, I'm gonna guess this is Alice in Wonderland inspired. But the style of this, I'm not gonna say it's completely traditional, maybe neo-traditional, but a little bit of a like fantasy spin, like a bit more artsy. I love it though. So if we look at the fresh one compared to the healed one, she said that she had put on a little bit of weight since she had got it. So the tattoo has been under that as well, so we've got to take that into consideration. Honestly, when you put on weight, when you get tattoos and stuff, they kind of just get bigger. You know, they don't really misshape or anything. They do stretch out in proportion. They don't go all like lopsided and then like one half of the tattoo is like smaller and the other half is like bigger. I've never seen anything like that before personally, and we can see that in this as well. So it's kind of just gone this way a little bit. It's just stretched out lengthways, widthways, but the integrity of the tattoo is still there. Like you can still see every single element along with the stretching. Obviously the tattoo is aged, so the line work has got a little bit thicker. The colours are pretty much still all there, which is amazing. You've still got those like pinky purples, the oranges in the flowers. The blue is still all there. The detailing within the rabbit's face just looks a little bit more harsher, just because the lines have blurred out a little bit, which is what is going to happen. It's not going to stay intricate like that, you know, the whole time. It is going to happen. I would say this tattoo has healed and lasted very, very nicely. So yeah, that'll be it for today's video. If you like this video, I will continue to do more videos like this. I feel like it's very interesting to see how different styles heal and how they hold up. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing very well, and until my next video, bye.